celebrate the memorial of St. Martha. Of course, Martha we remember as the one who was active in serving the Lord when Jesus came to her house as a guest, and Martha and Mary, her sister, was at the feet of Jesus listening to his words, and Jesus said what Mary was doing was the better thing than what Martha was doing, although Martha was doing a good thing, serving the Lord. And so Martha sort of symbolizes the active life, and Mary the contemplative life. But although contemplative life is a more perfect life, which is what we will be doing in heaven, the active life is important too. And activity can even be seen as a contemplative thing. We're doing something worthwhile, even though if we're inactive, that can mean that we're wasting time or being lazy or being slothful, doing something worthless, useless, or being lazy maybe. So activity in the sense of spending our time well is critical, is what we should be always doing. Activity can be prayer too. We need to spend our time serving the Lord, doing his will at all times, whether it be active in manual work or active in prayer and contemplation, recollection, silence. All of that can be, in the sense, an activity. And sloth is negligence. Sloth is doing nothing, but wasting time, sleeping too much, doing our own will too much, doing our own will at all, really. So that activity is something can be seen as a virtue of diligence, spending our time well, whether it be in prayer or doing work or manual labor. And when we are diligent, we do many good things, we accomplish many things, we do a lot for the glory of God, and we do much for the good of souls. Even suffering is an activity in that sense, where we do great things for God and for the good of souls. This kind of diligence is what to focus on. The opposite vice is sloth, and sloth makes us accomplish very little in the spiritual life or in the material life. It makes us waste our time, makes us victims of in praise of the devil, who can mess up our life through our cooperation, for our negligence and our lack of diligence, our slothfulness. And slothfulness too can make us depressed and sad, because we're really not doing what God made us to do. We're called to work, we're all called to be active, we're called to pray. And sloth in a particular way refers to the spiritual life too, in the prayer life. We can be negligent, slothful in our prayer life, our spiritual life, and not pray, not be concerned about our soul and our growth and our relationship with God. So this is important too, and the virtue of diligence, which makes us pray, makes us have a prayer life, makes us diligent in doing our duties and doing God's will at all times. So we ask Martha to help us to put into practice that virtue of diligence, and to avoid with all care the the vice of sloth, and to do the one thing, which is the will of God.